Let's bring in Fox News political analyst Reince Priebus, former RNC chairman and former Trump chief of staff. Reince, welcome back to you. First off, here is John Fetterman in his own words, drawing a clear red line.
My long-term concern has been with the Democratic Party, as I am a member of that, is that our party is going to back away and turn their back to Israel. If our party ever becomes, and just make it official, as the anti-Israel party, that's when I would leave, because that's been a moral clarity for me.
It does appear to be a clear red line, Reince, although he doesn't say if he'll become an independent or a Republican if that happens.
Well, the center of gravity is certainly moving left. I mean, it's obviously very clear. But let's talk about the split in the Democrat Party for a second. First of all, the split is very real. We know that. In the primary voters in Democrat parties across the country, it's clearly a hot issue, and the loudest voices are against funding aid to Israel. But what's interesting is that the leadership yesterday on the Dem side, they didn't whip the vote. And so what that basically means is that Hakeem Jeffries is afraid of this issue as to his base, because he didn't kind of search out the votes. When I talk about whipping votes, meaning you go to members and say, hey, Sandra, I really need you on this vote. Can we count on you? They didn't do that. They just said, do whatever you want to do. Second thing. Interesting, when you on the clips that you were playing, I was thinking through all the different members that you had on the screen, and it was interesting that the members that were on the Intelligence Committee, Jim Himes is the ranking member of the Democrat Party on the Committee on Intelligence. He supports it, and so if people, it always mystifies me why we don't educate people as to what is this aid for. I mean, we've got an ally in the Middle East. We are containing Iran and their proxies. Hezbollah practically has taken over Lebanon. I mean, the intelligence that we get. And by the way, they buy our aircraft with the money as well. We also give about $1.5 billion to Egypt, about $1.5 billion to Jordan, $1 billion to Ethiopia, $1 billion to Somalia, $1 billion to Nigeria. There are reasons that we do this, but people don't talk about it, and then you lose support across the country when people don't understand what it's for. And that's a huge problem. And we've got a small split in the Republican Party as well.
And Reince, how about the reaction from some in the media, some on the left, to Fetterman's red line? This is political analyst Luke Thomas reacting to John Fetterman. Listen.
I'll help him pack his bags. Good riddance. This is the biggest non-threat I think I've ever seen. There was a Quinnipiac poll this week that showed him more popular with Republicans than Democrats in his own state. Look at, he's 19% support among Democrats. That is what like a Latin American president at the end of his term is getting after just repeated failure to do anything. Good riddance to him.
I'll let you react to that, Reince.
Well, a couple things. Number one, nobody's done more for Israel than Donald Trump. He won the popular vote, shocked the world in 2024. Number two, I'd love for guys like that just to keep talking so John Fetterman absolutely moves over to the Republican Party and we lock down Pennsylvania. So, look, I mean, he is a Democrat, but this is an important issue, but I'm afraid we're losing, or at least people who know why we do what we do in Israel, we're losing support because we don't talk about the actual very real intelligent reasons that we have for why we do what we do. And social media and paid influencers and others, and good people on the other side might not agree, but nonetheless, the issue is up for a debate like it's never been before.
Got it, Reince. We really appreciate when you can join us. Thank you very much. A lot to watch there.
Thank you for having me.
All right, John.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.